Right, welcome ladies and gents. This is news which I audibly said, what? No way to. No word of a lie. Genuine fact. Genuine truth. I cannot believe this. Just not something I was expecting to see. It's a surprise. The Lord of the Rings rights have now been acquired by someone completely new. It's not Amazon. It's not Warner Brothers. Embracer Group. And new movies with Gandalf and Gollum may be on the way. What? Who'd have thought this? I mean, it's kind of one of those things that you hear and you're like, oh yeah, of course they're going to, because, let me just turn this down so it didn't peak and blow your eardrums out. It's kind of one of these things that you hear and you go, oh yeah, of course that's a potential. Why wouldn't it be? Because, of course, Amazon's now pushing forward with a massive, expansive, most expensive TV series ever, whatever. If the rights holders can get rid of the rights, then of course, it's a prized property at the moment. I guess kind of always has been. But this enables them to make more money, ride on the coattails of Amazon. So yeah, of course, it's kind of a no-brainer. But you just don't expect it. But when you hear it, you're like, yeah, no, of course. So this is an interesting one. I am surprised. I'm surprised that anyone feels like they've got the balls to do it. More than anything else. There's a big old pair of bollocks on these people. So the Lord of the Rings, the whole franchise, basically, acquired by Embracer. So new movies starring Gandalf and Gollum may be coming. I guess this is, an element of desecration of Tolkien. To a degree, he never wanted his movies to be like, his books to be adapted like this. So I guess there's two sort of arguments here. Negative to Tolkien, interesting for us, maybe. But the Lord of the Rings franchise has a new owner, and it sounds like a number of spin-off movies are a priority. Spin-off movies? Never like that word. Whenever I hear spin-off, I always hear the squirt of a cash cow being milked. Ka-ching. But the idea is that there'll be characters such as Gandalf, Aragorn, Gollum, for their sort of, leading spin-off movies. This is weird. It's so weird to talk about. Just weeks before Lord of the Rings of Power arrives on Prime Video, Embracer Group has announced that they've acquired Middle-earth Enterprises. So, Embracer Group now owns the worldwide rights to motion pictures, video games, board games, merchandising, theme parks, and stage productions relating to the iconic fantasy literary works, The Lord of the Rings trilogy and The Hobbit by J.R.R. Tolkien. So, this is kind of interesting because, the Rings of Power are completely separate to The Lord of the Rings trilogy and The Hobbit. They own that very specifically. They own the best stuff to own, basically. Whereas Amazon don't. They own essentially nothing. They don't own the rights to adapt anything. But of course, what does this mean? So, the company has done a press release, and that's probably best served to explain where they're positioning themselves. So they say, other opportunities including exploring additional movies based on iconic characters such as Gandalf, Aragorn, Gollum, Galadriel, Eowyn, and other characters from the literary works of J.R.R. Tolkien. So they've already said we've got a financial interest in TV series, but other opportunities. I don't know whether they're able to adapt any specific movies, because Warner Brothers own those movies specifically. Now, that could be that they own... it's very difficult. The rights deals are always a pain in the arse. But they say spin-off movies revolving around those characters could be very good or very bad, but there's definitely going to be an interest. Yeah, sure. I'm sure there will be an interest. It's whether, any media release to tease it is presented as good or bad. Now, Embracer Group also nabbed the rights for other Middle-earth related literary works authorised by the Tolkien estate and HarperCollins, which have yet to be explored. Now, this is interesting. So they say, I'm truly excited to have The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, one of the world's most epic fantasy franchises, join the Embracer family. opening up more transmedia opportunities, including synergies across our global group, says Lars Wingfors, founder and group CEO of Embracer Group. I am thrilled to see what lies in the future for this IP, with free mode and Asmodee as a start within the group. Going forward, we also look forward to collaborating with both existing and new external licensees for our increasingly stronger IP portfolio. They would have paid so much money for this. Like, so much money for this. Ridiculous sums of cash. And this is the whole statement. So Embracer Group Enterprises enters into agreement to acquire IP rights to The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit literary works by J.R.R. Tolkien. So the whole statement: I'm truly excited to have The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, one of the world's most epic fantasy franchises, join the Embracer family, opening up more transmedia opportunities, including synergies across our global group. I'm thrilled to see what lies in the future for this IP, with free mode and Asmodee as a start within the group. Going forward, we also look forward to collaborating with blah blah blah. So we did that. We at Zaint's company have had the honour over the past half century of stewarding the Tolkien rights so that Lord of the Rings and Hobbit fans worldwide could enjoy award-winning epic films, challenging video games, first-rate theatre and merchandise of every variety. We could not be more thrilled that it is Embracer now taking up the responsibility, and we're confident in their group will take it to new heights and dimensions while maintaining homage to the spirit of these great literary works. Sorry, that was my dog creeping in my room. So it's obviously just moved from one to another. But it's interesting. I mean, there's the very potential chance that there'll be a lot going on with this. The acquisition of the rights is in line with Embracer's IP-driven transmedia strategy. So The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, The Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit, are among the world's largest, most enduring, iconic entertainment franchises, and birthed the fantasy genre. This weird focus on Gandalf. It's an interesting focus that they're looking to push. Purchase price: the parties have agreed to not disclose. Yeah, I can believe that. I can believe that a lot. It's interesting. It's now they don't really say what other literary works it is. So they say, as well as matching rights in other Middle-earth related literary works authorised by the Tolkien estate and HarperCollins, which have yet to be explored. Maybe the Silmarillion, like what what Amazon should be doing. But yeah, interesting nonetheless. What do you guys think? Let me know down below. Love to hear any and all your thoughts. I think this will throw a spanner in the works for Amazon for sure. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this. Cheers, guys. Take care. Also, ladies and gentlemen, consider checking out my Teespring store. Supporting the channel via this way does go a long way. But also, not only that, you do get to wear some awesome merch. These are one-of-a-kind designs designed for me by my graphic designer. We, of course, have our Clown World line, which is in mugs, hoodies, t-shirts. We've got Space Jeebus. And then for something a little bit different, we, of course, have right down at the bottom right here, we have our Pulsar GTIR. Also, ladies and gentlemen, consider checking out and supporting my second channel, which is Car Nonsense. This is a vlog and car channel. You can find links to this in the description box, along with my Teespring. Please do consider supporting.